Welcome to the video. It is Tuesday the 28th of April 2020 and yes, I am in my bathroom. It's a horrible, wet and windy day, so I thought I'd make a video well and truly inside today. I've been out for a 5k run already this morning. It was grim, it was dismal, it was horrible, but we've still got to keep getting out there. So I encourage you to still do your daily exercise. It will help your mindset, help your physical health, and just we've got to keep that motivation going. But I am not here to talk to you about running today. Today, I want to talk to you about dental health. In my day job, well, my previous day job that will hopefully come back one day, I'm a dental hygienist and I get asked very similar questions day in, day out when I'm in practice that I think a lot of people don't know the answers to or they don't feel confident in. And so today, I thought I would share my top 5 questions that I get asked on a regular basis, share the answers, and I thought it might help you to help yourself keeping dentally fit and healthy while you're at home, especially at this time when we are unable to provide routine dental or dental hygiene appointments. It's so important for your general health, and that's something I'm going to touch on in another video to keep yourself dentally fit. And we obviously want to avoid you from getting into pain. And I know lots of you will be feeling a little bit anxious about not being able to get to the dentist, and I certainly don't want you to get into a dental emergency situation. So let me jump into it and give you my top 5 answers to my top 5 asked questions, and I hope they help a little bit. So let me get started. In at number 1, and 100% the most common thing that I get told as a statement rather than asked is flossing or interdental cleaning cuts my gums and makes them bleed. Now, this may very well be the case, and I'm sure it is in a lot of cases, because what's actually happening is that bacteria is getting stuck between your teeth and it's not getting removed by your toothbrush. This makes the gum inflamed, it makes it sore, and it means that the bacteria is getting the better of you rather than you getting the better of the bacteria. So it's living in there in a nice dark and warm environment, and it's breeding and it's growing all the time, and it's creating more and more problems. It can create problems for your gum around that area as well as the tooth itself, so you're at risk of tooth decay. It is so important that we clean in between our teeth. Now, you will do way less damage than that bacteria could ever do. By flossing or interdental cleaning, you're going to disturb the bacteria. It will bleed like a trooper to start with, but give it a few days and you'll notice a massive difference. But you're going to have to go for it, and it's going to have to be a little bit brutal. It will be a little bit of a bloodbath to start with, but I can assure you that if you just keep going and you stick with it, you will see results, and it is so important to do so. There's loads of different ways that you can interdental clean out there, and if you speak to your dentist or hygienist, I'm sure they'll be happy to help. And if you need any help, drop me a comment below. I'll be happy to see if I can help you out. It is specific for every different person and what they can manage, but where there's a will, there's a way, and it's probably the most or the least compliant part of oral hygiene routines. I find people tend to be quite good at brushing, or at least they'll give it a go. But interdental cleaning is the one thing that people really struggle with, but it is so important, and trust me, from the things I've seen, you've got to try and give it a go. So why not start during this lockdown? Manual or electric toothbrush? Typically, I recommend most of my patients to use an electric toothbrush. Not to say that you can't do a good job with a manual, you certainly can. But what electric does is it has a really good advantage in that you can get to the difficult to reach areas, leave it there and let it do the work for you. So you can get into behind the lower front teeth and up around the back teeth where it's tricky to reach, and just hold it still. That is the key with an electric toothbrush. You've got to hold it still and let it do the work for you. Most people start to use them like a manual toothbrush, and it kind of defeats the object. If you are using a manual toothbrush, try and use it, emulate the movement of an electric toothbrush, which typically is round and round. You're just trying to massage the gums and disturb that bacteria that just lives as the gum overlaps the tooth. Whatever you do, look in the mirror, spend your time and take a little bit of time in getting around all the angles of the teeth, because they're a tricky design. Whoever designed them, I don't know, but they're quite useful things. And remember that teeth are not flat surfaces, they've got all sorts of angles to them, so you want to make sure you're curving the toothbrush around. But remember, let it do the work for you. And if you can, get an electric. You don't have to buy a mega expensive one, and they'll do a really good job for you. What mouthwashes will give me the freshest breath? I hate to tell you, but there's no magic cure here with mouthwashes. The hard work needs to be done with your brushing and your interdental cleaning. Some people love a mouthwash. Personally, I don't. But if you really want to use one, try and get one without alcohol and that's not too harsh on the soft tissues and your gums. Some of them can set your whole mouth on fire, and we don't want to be affecting the natural balance of bacteria in our mouths. Our bodies are actually quite good at finding a natural load there, so we don't want to blast them out with something that's really, really strong. Once again, I've probably said this already in the video, I will say it throughout it. It's based on individual needs. I do recommend mouthwashes sometimes, but only for certain problems. I won't get into those because they're too specific for individual patients. But on the whole, if you're doing a good job and you've got a healthy mouth with your brushing and your interdental cleaning, you should be okay. Are diet fizzy drinks bad for your teeth? Yes, unfortunately they are. They don't have the sugar content in them, but they are very, very high in acidic content often. So something like a Diet Coke has very high acid content, extremely bad for your enamel of your teeth, and it will break down over time. If you are a bit hooked on them and you do enjoy them, a couple of things you can do to alleviate the problems are drink them with a meal, take them through a straw, and of course try and reduce the amount that you take them in. They can be quite addictive, so try and keep them on the down low if you can, but those little things might just help you. In at number 5, but definitely my most asked question, is what toothpaste should I use for the best results? In short, I would use anything that has got fluoride in it. Fluoride prevents from tooth decay. You want to be using something that's got between 1,350 and 1,500 parts per million of fluoride in it. Most toothpastes do. The ones to avoid are the herbal ones, which don't typically have that in them. If it's for children up to 3 years old, you want to make sure there's at least 1,000 parts per million in there. Apart from that, I would get something you like the taste of. Personally, I wouldn't spend a fortune on toothpaste. It's something you go through quite regularly, and some of them can be very expensive. There are some specifics which I do recommend for certain types of issues, such as sensitivity and high sugar diets, but I won't get into that. Simply just make sure it's got fluoride in it. And one key tip to success, and not everyone realizes with toothpaste, is brush with it, spit out the excess, and don't rinse the toothpaste off. Leave it on the teeth and let it do its magic. So that's it, my top 5 dental tips in a nutshell. And I hope that you found this video useful and informative. The few things in there that might just help you keep things ticking along while you can't get to the dentist. Our teeth are so important. We only get one set. Well, actually we get 2, but our second set are staying with us for the rest of the time. So let's look after them, keep them healthy, and keep smiling nice and big. So I will look forward to seeing you in the next video tomorrow. It is going to be Wednesday, and I think it's going to be a bit more rain, so I'm going to have to get creative with my videos. But I can't wait to see you then, and I hope that you have a great evening.